Launching our continuing coverage of India's biggest exit poll. I'm pretty certain you aren't tuning in right now and you've been with us through the evening, but just in case you are, let's show you what the new Lok Sabha could look like. Axis My India is projecting for India today that the NDA could get 339 to 365 seats, the UPA between 77 and 108, others between 69 and 95.
This is remarkable what's happening, and we want to go state by state in a moment because, let's do it as we did it a short while ago, T20 style. If we can get that election bus, which we loved, come back again and tell us state by state how this election has played out, because I think that's the fascinating aspect of this election. My producer says we are ready with the Election Express. The bus will be ready in a minute. Till then, let's tell you what has happened state by state to give you a feeling of the 10 big takeaways. I think the biggest takeaway, Rahul, for me is what's happened in the East. Because clearly that's the difference between 2014 and now. The BJP has spread, and this, Mahesh Rangarajan, is the poorest part of the country. The poorest areas, tribal Odisha, if our numbers hold, in Bengal, some of the poorer parts of North Bengal, is where the BJP, Eastern UP, BJP making impressive strides. That suit-boot ki sarkar image, middle class, trader party, urban party, all divides, all stereotypes being shattered if Modi's chemistry trumps arithmetic.
In 93, when BJP lost in the elections in Madhya Pradesh, it was derisively referred to as Banya Jain party. But I think Mr. Modi is a very interesting figure because he's the first person from the OBC communities. He's been a member of the Belur Math, where he was not ordained. He's worked in the organization, and particularly after the routes in Bihar and Delhi, these are very, very critical. This emphasis on serving the poor was pushed, so much so that informally, more than once, one has been asked by people from trading and business communities, is this party becoming socialist? Is it doing giveaways? There were a lot of pink press editorials saying that, oh, these schemes will not work. But somewhere that message going through. So I think this getting a significant section of the Adivasis, backward classes, Dalits, it predates Mr. Modi. But he has enabled it to reach out, irrespective of what the result is. So this is a very different BJP. Is it being mandalized? Is it being Dalitized? Or is it transforming their notion of Hinduism? That's a question.
Okay, let's then go state by state. Because, we started this evening with Andhra Pradesh. Because that was a state where you had Assembly and Lok Sabha elections. What are we predicting for Andhra Pradesh? Well, this is what we said will happen in Andhra Pradesh. Andhra Pradesh is going the way of Jagan Reddy. So Jagan Reddy has turned out to be the real hero of Andhra Pradesh. So as you see, vote share of Andhra Pradesh and seat share. Take a look at how the seat share is translating in Andhra Pradesh. Let's now move away from vote shares, only focus for a moment on seat shares. I'll ask my producer to only give me seat shares state after state. We start with Andhra Pradesh, but there is a 7% gap, and that's why Jagan Reddy is celebrating at the top of the bus. How is this translating into seats? And that's okay. The seat share at the moment clearly is, as you come out of that hovercraft, take a look at the seats. The seats clearly in Andhra Pradesh are going Jagan's way. Remember, 25 Lok Sabha seats in Andhra Pradesh. We are saying at the moment 18 to 20. That's a huge amount. Just 4 to 6 for Chandrababu and others are 1. So that's Andhra Pradesh for you. Let's move on to the next state with seat shares again. And this is the state of Tamil Nadu. This is where the early good news came for the UPA. We seem to believe that Tamil Nadu is moving back to the days, the first big post-Jayalalitha, post-Karunanidhi election. It has gone squarely towards the Congress-DMK alliance or DMK-Congress alliance. It could be a total sweep. The BJP-AIDMK alliance at best could get 0 to 4. If these numbers hold, remember, that's the big shift. Let's turn then from there to the next big state. And this was again good news for the Congress. Early news for the Congress was good. It came from the state of Kerala. Remember, Kerala is a state which in the post-Sabrimala debate has seen perhaps a polarization take place on the ground. What it seems to have done is reduce the power of the left. The big story from Kerala that is coming is the UDF. The Congress-led UDF is doing much better than the LDF. So in Kerala, we are predicting 15 to 16 out of 20. That's a huge leap compared, or a sizable leap compared to 2014 when they had 12. Now it's 15 to 16. The one state where the Congress has grown apart from Punjab. Then we turn to a state where I think there was the first big surprise of the day. The first big surprise came from Karnataka, a state where you had a big Congress-JDS alliance versus the BJP. Expectation was that the Congress-JDS alliance would do well, but it's turned out very different. Look at where our hovercrafts are going, 21 to 25 out of 28 compared to 17 last time for the BJP. It's the alliance which has taken a hit and could mean the end of the Kumaraswamy government if these numbers hold, since there are so many restive MLAs in the state of Karnataka. We then went to Telangana, where again, remember, K. Chandrasekhar Rao is hoping to become some kind of a player in the federal front. He won't be when the BJP gets a big majority. Take a look at how Telangana is playing out. Here it appears that it is advantage KCR, but not a sweep of the kind he might have expected. 1 to 3 for the BJP. Karimnagar is being spoken of. 1 to 3 for the Congress, and 0 to 1. That's Asauddin Owaisi. He's still holding firm in his bastion of Hyderabad. That's the south of the country, and that appeared to go the way of the Congress. The moment this election changed was when Rahul took us to Maharashtra. Because once we were in Maharashtra, it appeared we were back to the 2014 scenario. This is the second biggest state in the country. This is where the Congress had to make gains. But take a look at these numbers. These are stunning numbers. 38 to 42 means that the Congress is all set to repeat its, the BJP all set to repeat its performance in Maharashtra with the Shiv Sena. The Saffron Alliance is held. Sharad Pawar and the Congress have been decimated if these numbers hold, including in some of their bastions, their citadels. I can tell you Supriya Sule is among those winning among the individual seats that we have for Maharashtra. We then moved to Gujarat, and this was not unexpected. Remember, a Gujarati Prime Minister, a Gujarati BJP President, 26 seats on offer. The BJP could sweep all 26. Now, this is a role reversal from what happened in the 2017 Assembly elections. Here is where the Modi juggernaut has really begun to gather momentum as we move into Gujarat. Then we turn to Goa, 2 seats out of 2. Both are going, not surprisingly, small state. We expected 1 out of the 2 possibly with the Congress. The South was expected to go to the Congress in Goa, South Goa, but both the seats of Goa, post Manohar Parrikar Goa, both seats of Goa, we believe, are going to the BJP. So the BJP taking the advantage across the west. Moment you hit the Arabian Sea, the cyclone begins. Let's then turn towards Madhya Pradesh. And this is where this election really changes, where the Congress needed to do well. They had done well in 2018 Vidhan Sabha. It's not been replicated. Start looking at the numbers and don't look at these numbers now. 26 out of 28. It's a sweep. And among those close fights is even Jyotiraditya Scindia now in Guna. Except for Chhindwara, it could well be a complete sweep in that state if these numbers hold. We went then into Rajasthan. Again, a state where the Congress won the election in the Vidhan Sabha. What happens? It's Tsunamo all the way, the desert land. This is where we believe issues like Balakot had begun to play a role. 23 out of 25, it could be a repeat of 2019. Then we went to Chhattisgarh. This is a state where again the Congress actually won a 2/3 victory. What's happening to the Congress in Chhattisgarh? This is a bit of a surprise. Rahul says even the BJP is not expecting these kind of results in Chhattisgarh. But this is what India Today Axis poll is saying, or rather Axis is putting. And Chhattisgarh has also gone clearly the way of the BJP. So you've got the BJP building momentum across central India. And that's really where the Congress has lost the plot, it would seem, if these numbers hold. I keep reiterating, if these numbers hold. I just want to look at a few more states before we look at. One is, of course, Odisha. I think Odisha is a significant state in this election because 21 seats on offer, a chief minister who's been in power for 20 years, a BJP which has only won 1 seat last time. Look at how Odisha is changing. Odisha is dramatically changing now, 15 to 19 for the BJP here, 2 to 6, but Naveen Patnaik winning the assembly as per our polls. So a split verdict expected in Odisha. Then we turned to the state of Bengal. The other big shocker of today has come from Bengal, because if these numbers hold, clearly the BJP now has entered Bengal in a big way. This is a result that will shake Bengal politics perhaps forever, because the BJP has dramatically changed the balance of power. Left is 0, BJP 19 to 20, BJP 19 to 23, Mamta 19 to 22. This is a ding-dong battle. This is the battle where the numbers will have to be looked at closely. Finally, Bihar, and UP. Bihar, when we turn to, this was a state where the Congress had tried to fashion a Gathbandhan along with Lalu. On the other side, you had Nitish and Modi. Take a look at what the numbers of Bihar are. And these are stunning numbers when you look at them. This is a landslide. All traditional, conventional stereotypes, Muslim, Yadav combined, all being demolished if these numbers hold 38 to 40, even in citadels that the Yadav have never lost or the RJD has never lost in the past. And the final one was Uttar Pradesh. The one that many people in our studio are still not believing, and maybe they will be right, because 80 seats on offer. What is the exit poll of India Today Axis saying? This is the state where you expected a close contest because of the sheer arithmetic of the Mahagathbandhan. But the Bua Bhatija combined, according to our poll, may not have had that effect. Instead, the BJP, which won 73 last time, is still holding on because it could win as many as 62 to 68. The Gathbandhan 10 to 16, the Congress 1 to 2, and among those, and Rahul will tell us this tomorrow, could be Amethi. Where does Amethi stand in this? It's a tough fight.
No, we don't want to tell our viewers anything about Amethi just now, for the only reason that we have multiple hours of programming still to go. So we do have answers for Amethi. We do have answers for what's happening in Guna, Chhindwara, Jodhpur. Pick any VIP seat, non-VIP seat. We have data for every seat. We know how the castes have moved on that seat. We know the dynamics. We know young voters, old voters, rich, poor, for every seat. That's how detailed this poll is. But we're not giving anything away, Rajdeep.
You made a word, you used the word youth, and I want to put this to our panel. Is there a young voter, 18 to 23 voter, who's looking at politics, Mihir, very differently to the politics of the past? Many believe there are two vote banks that Mr. Modi has consciously cultivated. One is women voters and one is young voters. These are the two constituencies that are driving him forward.
You know, I think that that was definitely true in 2014. And if these polls are correct, if we have to look into, if we discover they're correct on the 23rd and we do the ethnographic work afterwards, it is impossible for these polls to be, for these numbers to be correct and not for it to be still true of young voters today. In 2014, there were two elections in states like UP. There was one election for those above 30, which looked a lot like previous elections. And there was one election for those under 30, which was an extraordinary sweep.
So I'd like to add to this.
Yes.
So one of the reasons why I'm still arguing, and I have every reason to argue with any survey data, is because the youth in Uttar Pradesh do have issues. The resignation of Om Prakash Rajbhar, for example, the resignation letter states that the post-metric scholarships not paid, the free ships for higher education not done, and there is a large number of youth today that feels that while 2014 was a huge youth moment on Sabka Saath, Sabka Vikas, a lot of them have responded today that if our title is Sonkar, Vishwakarma, Paswan, this Vikas, Sabka Saath.
No, but I want to
excluded us.
But if these numbers hold, would it be right to say, as I met people in Phulpur unemployed, but said, "Nahi, sir, vote kisko denge? Modi ji ko." So despite the fact that they may be suffering from lack of jobs, their incomes may not have increased, they don't see any option. This is where Yogendra Yadav's point comes. You've got to give them an inspirational
At this time,
counter-narrative.
therefore, both hypotheses are out to be tested, and 23rd is when we can
That's
really,
hypothetical. It will be tested on the 23rd.
I'd like
speak of youth, and I ask this question, you have a Hardik Patel who's backed the Congress. How is it that the BJP is sweeping in Gujarat? I think it's not just youth. It's a particular, it sort of goes cross-section of the society if the results are these.
Let's go across now to Babul Supriya, BJP candidate from Asansol. Remember, the BJP's mission in 2019 was, is dafa half, next time full. They wanted to clear out Mamata Banerjee. Babul Supriya, you're looking at these numbers put out by India Today, Access My India. What are you making of the fact that your mission of at least achieving half, of conquering half of West Bengal seems to be coming out to be true?
Babulda.
Well, see, there is a reason why, Dada, let me crack a joke then. You know, everyone is wondering why Chandrababu Naidu is so hyperactive, meeting everyone, all the other leaders. He's just telling everyone that instead of trying to decide who our Prime Minister will be on the 24th of May, let's look at May 24th. So he shifted the goalpost from being 24 in the being before May to 24 after May. So it's 24th May to May 24th.
Okay, Babu, if you're going to be cracking jokes, then I have a request. I must tell our viewers that ordinarily Babul Supriya doesn't like it if I ask him to sing a song for us.
Please don't.
But given the fact that you're, come on Babul, we are showing 339 to 365 for the BJP. On the 23rd of May, we may have to trek all the way up to Kedarnath if we get these numbers wrong. So therefore, on popular request from our PCR, our production control room insists that you can't let Babul go on a night as big as this without telling us what's the song that he's humming in his heart. Because when I came to you, I could see that you were saying something. We want to hear that song, Babul.
Well, when keep one singer for store, no? When their numbers is singing, keep me for the 23rd. But you know, I will sing one before going. I'll sing. You know, if you see Bengal, then definitely.
See, Sharath Pradhan is trolling you. He's saying you're not singing because you're not confident about the numbers. Babul,
it is about.
He's saying you're not singing because you're not confident about the numbers. He's trolling you, Babul. You need to turn him wrong. Come on, some one song, please. I will ask you serious questions also. I promise that.
But I'm confident of. I'm saying, okay. I got it. I'm saying that the people of Bengal, you know, they have seen Mamata Banerjee's tweets now that this result is because of the EVM cheating. This result is all propaganda by the media. And she says that all the opposition needs to get together to fight against this. I don't know what she was doing all this while. So the people of Bengal right now, as they watch these channels that BJP is going on a song under the leadership of Modi ji, they are singing this to Didi. कुछ तो दीदी कहेंगे दीदी का काम है कहना छोड़ो बेकार की बातों में कहीं बीत ना जाए रहना.
This is a Babul Rajdeep Jugalbandi happening now. But I must ask you, Babul, you know, first Munmun Sen, your competitor in Asansol, said that she didn't get her Betty on time. Now she's saying that that whole Ishwar Chandra Vidyasagar was a small issue, petty issue. So you kind of, you know, have this competitor who's saying all kinds of crazy things. I hope the BJP is not giving trouble in sending your Betty across to you on time.
No, I wake up on time. She's going to wake up. I have already deputed someone to serve her tea on the 23rd so that she wakes up to reality. Forget about waking up in the morning. Because I think there are far too many memes that are coming in. I have to stop myself from sharing them on Twitter or Facebook because it's not going to look right. But coming back to, West Bengal, I think there is a reason why someone as sharp as President Amit Shah ji had kept that 23 as an aspiring number. I think anything between 12 and 18 is something that the cephalogist is going to go, on the prudent level. But I personally and the BJP members are not going to be shocked if that we reach that magic figure of 23. That's what it is, and what your numbers show, we can even go beyond that. We are going beyond that.
So as per our numbers, you are on the road.
21. I asked Rajdeep why he did this famous show all over India.
Go ahead.
Numbers are going to be
21, around 21.
Around 21. That's because everyone above 21 has voted for Modi ji. They don't want to see these old faces anymore. They think that
okay.
What is the program you saw?
The political discourse based on lies, on foul-mouthed. What is the program you have traveled the entire country. You have sent in some great videos. You send in some great videos, but you don't see him to come to Bengal because I think you were pretty sure that Bengal is going to sweep.
Babul, I came with Mamta. She took me on a padiyatra where she walked
He's
faster
saying you
than
didn't come to Asansol. That's
I didn't come to Asansol.
The Ganga Dhaba at Asansol is amongst the best fish you can get. It's next to next to the local court. Unlimited non-vegetarian for 150 rupees. I really need to go back. The Asansol is a place that's totally
next time. Okay,
what we want to do is show our viewers the poll of polls.
Yes.
Okay, so I know everybody's been doing their own poll of polls, but what we'll do is we will look at all the other polls, break them down for you, and show you where the India Today Access My India poll stands vis-a-vis the others. This is very clearly an outlier. They've taken a bigger punt than the other pollsters. Let's just show that data on our screen. Access My India projects 339 to 365 for the NDA, 77 to 108 For the UPA VMR, I think they're working with Times Now projects 306 to 132. For the UPA 104 for the others. Jan Ki Baat 305, 124, 113. C voter 287, 128, 127. That's the C voter number. So this is clearly, Rajdeep, our next more on the line than the other pollsters.
No, but look at it. I think the direction has been captured. If you look at the lowest one, I think Rahul, correct me if I'm wrong, is around 267? 287.
No, but what we saw with Nielsen, Rajdeep, was they first came out with a number which was lesser. They saw the other polls and then they increased theirs by 10. No, then they've increased it by 10, taking it past 277.
Oh, I see. So either way, the trend has been caught. All of them are generally predicting a clear majority.
This is the average. This is the average. 314 on average for Narendra Modi. 111 for the UP, 117 for all the others. Don't you love our graphics? You've been working really hard in putting these together. They're holding the placards. 314. You'd love them even more if you're BJP supporters. If you're Congress supporters, I'm sure you're looking at those and cursing us all through.
If you add 111 and 117, it's 228.
It's an innings defeat, right?
So therefore, they've got a hope. What is the hope? You've got to always leave some suspense for the 23rd. That a 50-seat swing has to take place. The BJP has to come from the 314 average to 250, 64 seats, and they have to get the 64 on the other side. That is why I want to bring in Kumar Ketkar, so that I want to bring a smile to otherwise what's been a depressing day for you, Mr. Ketkar. Now, many people are saying that if these results hold, it's a sign of a tectonic shift in Indian politics. The Congress is now facing decimation if these results hold. And the BJP is breaking all conventional stereotypes, class, caste, region. How do you respond to that? If this election results hold, it is a big shift in Indian politics.
This is not the first tectonic shift. The same phrase I heard first time in 1977, then again in 1984 when Rajiv Gandhi won 414 seats.
Sure.
Then again in 2014 we saw tectonic shift. So tectonic shifts have been happening, and exit polls tectonic shifts are even faster.
So what is your reading? You believe that we've exaggerated the figures of the NDA?
No, my reading is same as yours as far as one point is concerned. That is, the trend is clear in which the vote is for Narendra Modi.
It's for Narendra Modi, not for the BJP?
Narendra Modi and not for the BJP. And that is very clear according to your survey, according to my survey. I toured UP, I toured whole of Maharashtra, and I did not find anybody
where does that mean your leader?
That's very unfair. If Narendra Modi is lead, you can't say Virat Kohli has won the match. India has won the match.
I am not saying that.
If they won, it's the BJP that has won. You can't.
I think we are talking. I think Rahul, the simple point is BJP would have got any case 20% vote, which they have. The question is the winning seat, and the winning seat is given to them by Modi.
But if I say
so
that,
therefore, therefore this analogy of Virat Kohli is not correct.
But if we say it's presidential, Mr. Ketkar, if we say this is presidential and people have voted for Mr. Modi, not the BJP, assume it for a moment. Does that mean that in the pure leadership contest, Modi versus Rahul was a no contest?
I don't think.
And where does that leave your leader? In other democracies, when a leader faces a big defeat like this, some introspection, some accountability is there. Will that happen here?
I think it is a semi-presidential, not completely presidential, but I agree with you that the single leader was involved. But are you suggesting to me that even in 2024 it will be the same leader? It will be the same leader contesting again in US, the president's contest. And the president changes, and the presidential system survives.
Are you saying you can't beat Modi, so you want him to step aside after 2 terms?
Let us not mix up. Don't forget, in 1980, when Indira Gandhi came back, it was Vasant Sathe and Antule who said, now we must have a presidential system because Indira Gandhi has shown that she has come back again despite the emergency in 1931. So presidential pattern is not for the first time. At that time, even H.R. Khanna, I think, had defended the presidential system. So point is not presidential. This is semi-presidential pattern of voting.
If these results
hold, semi-presidential pattern of voting.
Let me persist one last time with you. I'm trying to get a consensus. If these results hold,
this is not a tectonic shift of system. This is a tectonic shift in terms of only voting pattern in this election. Sir, but it does not hold all the time. It may not hold even on 23rd May.
Okay, so welcome back. You're watching our live and continuing coverage of the big India Today Access My India exit poll. We want to focus in this part of our broadcast on the one question that's uppermost now in everyone's mind. Will these numbers hold on the 23rd of May? And if they change, what can change? Let me put that question first to Rajdeep. Rajdeep.
Look, I think what can change is possibly what happens sometimes in a poll, that you tend to exaggerate the nature of the sweep. Since we predicted 12 states with a sweep, if in every state conventionally you come down by 5 seats, which is possible, it adds up to 60. Now all that doesn't necessarily have to go one way, but that's the possibility. I think Uttar Pradesh and Bengal are the outliers in our poll, and the other ones are where we are predicting 26 out of 26 in Gujarat, 40 out of 40 virtually in Bihar. If they come down even by 4 or 5 each, Karnataka, if they come by 4 or 5, then you suddenly have a tighter contest. But I think the trend has been picked, and I really would like our viewers to know, Rahul, that an exit poll is not a math sum. It's not about getting a number right, it's about picking a trend. And I think the trend is that the BJP is moving towards a majority on its own, and possibly the NDA over 300.
Based on some understanding of how these numbers were put together, let me try and just explain what can change. Remember, this is a poll that's been conducted in every single Lok Sabha seat. So what you're seeing is not as if the pollster has gone to one seat and he's extrapolating and projecting the numbers onto seats in that area. He's gone to every single seat. So that essentially means that some of those seats you could get wrong, because when your sample in every seat is about 500, the average is 1291, but that's also because in some confusing seats we poll larger samples. When your sample is about that big, you can get some seats wrong. So out of 543, 80 are considered tough fight seats. On these seats, there is a possibility that the team, that the number that Access came up with can change a little bit. But where the gap is clear, the chances of the victor changing is very, very minimal. So on those 80 seats where there's a tough fight, the victor can potentially change, which essentially means that the margin of victory can potentially come down somewhat if some of these calculations don't hold. But can the trend reverse? And we drew that example of what happened in the US and the UK. Remember, those were much tighter fights. In Brexit, it was 52 versus 48, 52 wanting to exit, 48 against. Even in the Hillary Clinton election, it was a much tougher fight where Hillary Clinton actually polled more votes. Here, there is no comparison. Sandeep Shastri, when the gap is this big, the trend has been cast in stone. Halka bahut upar niche is possible. And remember, the upar can be on the other side as well. It doesn't necessarily mean niche. That can happen. But the vote share gap is too much for the trend to fundamentally change.
How many of these, Rahul, 80 have gone to the BJP according to your...
No, so how the tough fights are distributed is that's what explains the range, which is why the NDA is projected to get between 339 to 365. It is my understanding that when luck is rolling in your favor, voters tend to jump onto the winner's bandwagon, which 2007 Uttar Pradesh, 2012 Uttar Pradesh, if you're winning, you just tend to win bigger than you
take an
vote.
average, Rahul, you take an average based on what the existing numbers are. So if you won 7 out of 10 of the easy seats, then on the same average, you roughly work on tough
I can show that to you.
Can I make 3 small points
Yes.
based on your question? I think you are right in saying that an exit poll may give you the trend in an election, and that trend has been captured by the poll. However, I must add the fact that you say that there are 80 seats which could be in the balance, and that could make a difference in terms of the final numbers. And I believe there are 3 points we need to look out for. Point number 1, the largest state, Uttar Pradesh, the type of projections we have done, and the complexities of the issue there, for me, is something I look out for on the 23rd. Secondly, given the sweeps that we have projected in the exit poll in certain states. Now, if those sweeps do not happen to the intensity that we have projected, the numbers could then
Okay,
see a
since
change.
everyone here is a data
And
geek.
third and last point, I think the question the sweeps will, I mean the change in these sweeps can produce is moving the BJP from a party which has such a huge majority to an NDA which has a majority, but the BJP is slipping below the majority. That's, I think, the only change as I see it which could happen.
Okay,
So
since
for-
everyone here is a numbers geek and there's a lot of interest in how the tough fights can get distributed, I can actually play around and show that to you. So if you want to have some fun, let's just do that. This is just now deep number crunching. I hope you're going to enjoy this. Okay, so let's just do that. On our screen right now, Sandeep Shastri said, how do you distribute the tough seats? So let's have that on our screen right now. Can we come closer, please? Before I reveal these numbers, I want the camera to come as close as it possibly can. let's try and show you how the tough fights get distributed. Okay, so are we close enough on the screen? Now, take a very close look at the numbers on your screen, and I'll then try and explain what's happening. Can we remove that ticker? Can we just move this up because it's not clear? Okay, so here you are, 334, according to the Access My India poll, are the clear leads to the NDA. These are clear leads where the gap between the victor and the runner-up is more than 3%. These are seats that Access My India predicts are clear victories for the National Democratic Alliance. Now, out of these clear leads, 287 are clear leads for the Bharatiya Janata Party. I wonder if you can see this. We need to pull in closer so that our viewers can see this. 287 clear leads, which essentially means that the chances of the BJP getting less than a majority, according to our poll, are very limited. 287 on their own steam, they are likely to get a majority. The Shiv Sena is likely to get 19 seats, the Janata Dal United 16 seats, the Lok Jan Shakti Party 6 seats, the Apna Dal 2 seats, Akali Dal 1 seat. Those are the NDA allies. So 334 clear leads. Now, bear with me as I do this, and this will now explain the question that was being asked. Here in the corner are the 80 tough seats. So there are 80 tough seats, and these can essentially go anywhere. Now, if I just want to be safe, I'll split 40-40. So, if I split 40-40 or roughly 45-40 and I take it here, then the NDA number goes up to 364. And if I were to do that, then I take the other tough fight seats to the UPA corner, which takes the UPA up to 102. So the UPA then is at 102, the NDA is at 364. Now bear with me for a moment as we try and say, what if all the tough fight seats went to the UPA? What if I took all these seats, all the tough fight seats, if Modi really has a bad day and all the tough fight seats move away from the NDA and they go to the UPA would still be only at 132. Process this data very, very carefully. If all the tough fight seats are taken away from the NDA, sent to the UPA corner, the UPA would still only be at 132. The NDA would still, their starting line is 332 when it comes to clear leads. Let's imagine that, just think of this as Multan. Virendra Sehwag is batting and luck is going his way. Lady Luck is shining on him. What happens then? What if a vast majority of the tough fight seats start rolling towards the NDA? What could happen then? How could this poll change if the vast majority of seats starts heading towards the NDA? You're up to 394, and if you are very lucky, this could go past 400, 409. I'm not saying, see, listen, let's be very careful. I'm not saying that this is going to happen, but since a question was asked about how this poll can change, I said let's have some fun. Let's try and break that up for our viewers. So if they are lucky, if they are very lucky, if everything is going their favor, this could potentially go up to 304. I promised you that with the election intelligence dashboard, we will be able to make greater sense of this election than any other channel. Watch all the other channels together. Come to us. Nobody will be able to explain this election quite this way. Forget what might happen on the 23rd. This is the real answer. If all the tough fight seats go to the NDA, 409, if all, and I pull them back for you once again. Remember, the Congress by itself is projected to win only 38 seats clearly. They could win some more, but 38 are the only clear leads that they have. The DMK only has 20 clear leads, which means the DMK is winning virtually every seat they fought. Every seat that they fought, the DMK is winning. NCP getting only 4 seats. The IUML in Kerala getting 3 seats. The CPIM getting 2 seats. Then Janata Dal Secular getting 1 seat. CPI getting 1 seat. So that's, if all the tough fight seats come here, the UPA is at 132. That is the answer to the question about what can change on the 23rd.
We're just joined by a political guest at the moment. They've been waiting for a while. Amit Malviya of the Bharatiya Janata Party is now joining us. Amit Malviya, you will be the cat who's licked the cream if these numbers are right, because this could be the most stunning result in Indian politics since 1984. Be honest with us. What are your own internal numbers showing? Are they showing you crossing the kind of limit that we are showing? Or are your numbers much more conservative?
Well, Rajdeep, I think our President Amit Shah has very clearly said that we expect to go past 300 on our own, and I think your numbers are merely reiterating what he has said. But I was listening to your debate, Rajdeep, and it was quite fascinating that you repeatedly asked if it's a tectonic shift movement in Indian politics, and most of your panelists seem to disagree with that. I, on the other side, believe that it is indeed a defining moment in Indian politics, because 1984 or post-emergency when Indira Gandhi was voted back again are not quite equivalent to what is happening or what is likely to happen now on the 23rd of May, given the kind of numbers that you've put out. For simple reason that 1984 was a fairly emotional election on the back of Indira Gandhi's assassination. Emergency again was an experiment that did not work, and people thought, let's get back Indira Gandhi. Now this is probably for the first time where you have a leader from a non-Congress formation who has run a full majority government for 5 years, and people have overwhelmingly voted for him in this election and they want him back. This phenomena of pro-incumbency, this phenomena of voting for a leader who does not have a dynasty as his calling card, who comes from the ranks of a cadre-based party, is, I think, fairly unique. And this will, in some senses, define how our polity will shape going forward. Because be rest assured that Mr. Modi and the BJP are not going to rest on their laurels here.
Saying Mr. Modi is not going anywhere. You're basically telling me that if I come back 15 years from now, we'll still be talking about Tsunamo number 5. As far as you're concerned,
back. Where are you going, Rajdeep?
This is my last election for a while. I want to go back to the beaches of Goa and sit under a coconut tree and have my, well, we won't say what, but we'll come back with that. And Hemanta Biswa Sarma is joining us at the moment. He's the man of the moment if these numbers hold from the Northeast. Hemanta da, good to see you on the show. You've always said out of 25, you believe you'd get 17, 18. Our survey is showing you might actually get even better than that. 2021 is even possible. And a clean sweep, maybe 1 or 2 at best to the AIUDF and the Congress in Assam. Are you confident of these numbers? Do you think we've exaggerated your tally? Be honest. Are you also surprised with the scale of what could be happening? Remember, this is an exit poll only.
No, Rajdeep, regarding Northeast, right from Calcutta, I am all along telling you that our number will be in between 18 to 21.
Yes.
So I am confident enough that BJP and our allies in Northeast will get minimum 18 and maximum 21. That is my number for all along, and I still stand by that.
You've also been able to cannibalize various political parties. You stole the AGP away from Praful Kumar Mohanta. If your critics say Hemanta Biswa Sarma used Sam, Dam, Dand, Bhed, all means fair and foul to win this election, how would you respond? You got this smile on your face, but the fact is that, you know, I traveled with you, Hemanta, to the autonomous districts, and there we saw people with no ideological affinity to the BJP joining. So is that just power that is drawing them to the Bharatiya Janata Party?
No, Rahul, this election is completely different. People has voted lock, stock, barrel for Prime Minister Modi and for the cause of nationalism. I have extensively campaigned in Assam and Bengal and other northeastern states, and I have sensed huge overcurrent and undercurrent for Prime Minister Modi. So this election is all about Prime Minister Modi and the organizational skill of Amit Shah. He promised that BJP will expand towards east and northeast. I think one of his objectives has been fulfilled. Now I believe that
no regrets today, Hemanta da. No regrets that your old party, if these numbers hold, could be decimated. I mean, 5 years ago, you were the key lieutenant of Tarun Gogoi. No regrets today, or you believe that you proved a point?
No, I think Congress has lost relevance. The way now 3 Gandhi are controlling the party, and actually it has been converted to a private limited company. I think how can a party's top leadership being captured by 3 family members from one dynasty. I think in Congress, the respect for ground level workers has completely lost. It has been captured, I mean, like anything. Even during Indira Gandhi's time, you would have seen Indira Gandhi and Rajiv Gandhi. Today, party has been captured by three family members from one family. I think no self-respect people can today vouch for Congress. I am not saying that opposition, there should not be opposition in the country, but I think in this election the message will be that there will be new opposition who will emerge post 23rd.
Can I get Kumar Ketkar to quickly respond to what you've said?
Mark my word.
I'll get Kumar Ketkar. Earlier in the program, Yogendra Yadav said Congress must die for the opposition to in a sense re-emerge. You need a new alternative. Hemanta Biswa Sarma is saying the Congress has become a private limited company. I mean, you know, a defeat has very few people taking
I think
charge
both
of it.
both these statements are quite hyperbolic.
Yes.
Parties don't die like that, and parties don't die with dynasty or without dynasty. I think these are hyperbolic statements on a temporary victory stream. And I don't think that will last, because Modi is not immortal, we are not immortal, Rahul is not immortal, but party from 1885 is there still.
Does it need to reinvent? Does it need to reinvent? Does it need to reinvent?
Between 1885...
Does it need to reinvent? We can't go back to 1885.
Of course we can. 1885 to 1947, Congress was not in power.
Yes.
Between 1947 and 2014, they were several times in opposition. So it is not a question of being in opposition. Mrs. Gandhi was reduced to first 153 seats and later on only 69 seats when the Congress was split again. So let us not go by the numbers.
I'm saying, okay, Hemanta, you wanted to
parties don't die, parties survive entirely because of the people.
Now, Rajdeep, let me, Rajdeep.
Yes, go ahead.
Rajdeep, I have a prediction.
Yes.
I agree with Mr. Kumar Ketkar ji that party will stay. But yes, you see that now there will be concerted effort within the Congress to stand up without dynasty. People has realized that why BJP, even after so many people were critical against,
who's going to stand up to them?
I think you will see the Modi ideology now will travel to Gandhi. Modi's ideology will now travel to Congress,
who will stand up to the
Gandhi. You mean to say there is somebody in the BJP to fight Modi?
No.
Is there anybody who can raise? Is there anybody in the party who can raise even single voice?
But Narendra Modi grew in the system. Narendra Modi grew in the system. He's not LK Advani's son. Narendra Modi is not Vajpayee's son. He's not LK Advani's son.
Narendra Modi has killed entire hostility to him within the party.
Okay, you made your point. One by one. This is not the usual channel where you shout. Let's hear both sides. Okay, you made a point. You made a point that today Modi is BJP, BJP is Modi. Now you respond to that, Hemanta Biswa Sarma.
Let me. No. I mean, Mr. Modi is Modi because people of India loves him, respect him. But I am coming to Congress. I spent my 22 years in that party. Make my word, now there will be a serious debate within the Congress party to find out some alternative to Gandhi, and you mark my word.
Mahesh Rangarajan, you wanted to make a point. This serious point, Hemanta Biswa, who spent 22 years, is claiming if these numbers hold, there will be a serious challenge to the Gandhi family.
Look, the key is, in this election, if you see Mr. Modi's speeches, particularly the latter half, it's an attack on privilege, it's an attack on lineage, it's an attack on clans, dynasty, his caste being the poor. And it is true, the two prime ministers of BJP, Atal Bihari Vajpayee and Narendra Modi, have come up through the ranks of cadre. It is a cadre-based party. But I would argue the Congress crisis is not just who the leader is, it's got a crisis of ideas. It needs to reinvent itself. Parties have reinvented themselves. You know, the Labour Party under Tony Blair was one example, and I would argue Mrs. Indira Gandhi reinvented the Congress Party. The party of 71 was substantially different from pre-60s, and it's very dangerous to write any party
off. How do you reinvent in the age of Modi? How do you reinvent in the age? Look, if this election holds, this is the age of Modi, with a muscular nationalist who's talking a language which maybe the young connect with. how are you going to connect with the young? I sometimes wonder, what is the Congress going to do to reinvent? Very nice word to use in the studio. How do you do it?
No, Mr. Modi's reinvention was precisely by aligning with someone as intelligent and hardworking as Mr. Hemanta Biswa Sarma. Remember, in Assam, for example, the AJP and the Bodo People's Front coming back as allied partners to the BJP within months of having led the agitation on the citizenship bill. The Assam Cha Mazdoor Sangh Union, for example, with the ITAC, comes back to vote for the BJP. And at this point of time, your ally, sir, the AGP, does not know whether you will give them one of the Rajya Sabha seats or not.
If these results hold in the age of Modi, because one of the fears, one of the fears, if this is the result that I would have as a political, as an observer, is where is the opposition? Sitting in parliament, I will then see debate, as we've seen unfortunately in the last parliament, budgets also being carried through without even a discussion. If these results hold, the opposition will be completely emasculated. So how does an opposition reinvent itself in the age of Modi?
By getting people as intelligent and hardworking on the ground as Mr. Biswa Sarma. Where is an Assam election, for example, compared to anything in Uttar
makes a good point by promoting talent.
If you're fighting against a Virat Kohli,
aligning or poaching
you can't
talent.
do so because you're Sunil Gavaskar's son. You can do so through dint of talent, through effort, through hard work. That's the way out. You have to come up with ideas. If you're going to play Virat Kohli, you have to find a Dhoni.
What are the new ideas of Narendra Modi? Let me know.
Sir, people have just voted. People have voted.
What are the revolutionary ideas that great Mr. Narendra Modi has produced?
Then why is he winning?
I am not talking about that. You are raising the question of ideas. What are the
people like the work that he's done. Wake up, feel the coffee, smell the coffee, sir.
Every single idea that Narendra Modi promoted was originated by Congress party. Before. From Manarega, every single idea. What is the new revolutionary idea that Modi has given?
I want to look at the leadership.
Except attack on the Nehru family.
So the leadership of BJP consists of different kinds of people, but at the national level, many of them were involved either in the JP movement or the anti-emergency movement. So Mr. Jaitley, for instance, was in jail. Sushma Swaraj worked underground. Mr. Modi worked underground. Or they were involved in the Ram Temple movement. Someone like Shivraj Singh Chauhan was very important. Now, the Congress historically became a party of power long ago, and in the states where it came back, I mean, Chhattisgarh would be an interesting instance. They took up the issue of ration cards. They took up the issue of, grain to farmers. The party, any party to reinvent has to go back among the people and work on the ground. And where it has worked on the ground, where it has worked on the ground, state like Kerala, I want to emphasize, Kerala, it runs a party structure with a number of other parties. It remains in contention whether it wins or loses. And I think this is true even today.
Okay, so we have just 2 minutes to go. I'm going to give you 10 seconds each. You tell us, starting with you, Mir, what's going to happen on the 23rd? What do you think is going to happen? Is it all over by 12 noon?
I don't think so. I think it's going to be a lot closer in Odisha, Bengal and UP than we think right now.
Meera Raghav, what's going to happen?
Well, I think we're going to be wrong.
You think we're going to be wrong? Mahesh Rangarajan, what's going to happen?
I will take refuge behind the great US president who said it's not over till the fat lady sings.
Okay, Sandeep Shastri.
I think on 23rd the strength will be there, but I think the question we will be looking for is, does NDA get a majority or does BJP get a majority?
Okay, that question is still open, yes.
Well, I also feel that the numbers will change, and particularly in states like UP, even Maharashtra, West Bengal and Odisha. It won't be...
Manisha Priya, very quickly.
This election on the ground was fought as a multitude of state level elections. I can see that happening for the south of India, for down the Vindhyas. I'm going to see if it's going to happen as a plurality of state level elections for the north of India.
Kumar Ketkar, are you going to be depressed?
I am not going to be depressed. Why should I be depressed?
If these numbers hold?
So what? I mean, just because numbers are against me, I should be depressed?
Okay, that's a good point.
I mean, I don't understand this depression business.
Look, I keep saying,
Rajiv,
we predicted...
Look, Rajiv,
yes.
BJP had only two seats in 1984-85.
Yes.
And they came to 282 in 2014.
Who's the LK Advani in your party at the moment?
Vajpayee himself had lost. Where they depressed? No, parties don't get depressed like that.
That's a nice
Parties
way to put
are human collective organisms. They don't get depressed.
I think the one thing Indian politics teaches is never write anybody off. This may be a big victory for the BJP and Narendra Modi, but don't write anybody else off.
And a good example of that is what is happening in Bengal. Who would have thought in their imagination 10 years ago or even 5 years ago that the left space in Bengal would be taken over by the BJP? That's how dramatic. But that's how dramatic.
But it requires ambition.
No, it may be. But I'm just saying how dramatically Indian politics shifts. That you have these dramatic shifts that keep taking place in Indian politics from time to time. Let's not write off anyone. It's a good way, Rahul, to end our poll, because otherwise with these results nobody will watch us on the 23rd. To keep the suspense
They'll watch us for sure.
Let those VVPATs keep coming in.
They'll watch us for sure. If it goes wrong, I'm just putting my phone away. I'm going to dip my phone in a water bottle and not touch it at all. Not seeing any social media if it goes wrong. If it goes right.
You're an old style politician. I'm sure you will not go by exit polls.
Yes.
You will wait for the final number, right?
No. I have only one observation, that yes, exit poll result will be the way you predicting, but you be alert for the surprise which will come from Bengal. The Bengal will script the history of Indian election this year, and be ready for that. This is my you can say that this is my assessment.
Okay, we've already given you 21 seats on an average in Bengal. I don't know how high it can go, but you never know. You never know in this election, in this wonderful country called India. That's the fascinating part of it. We've seen the ups and downs. 2004, we got the exit polls wrong. Who knows what happens on 23rd? For now, though, I can tell you it's my birthday on the 24th, Rahul. So please get a nice big cake here at midnight on the 23rd. I will blow the candles and we'll send a slice of cake to whoever wins, whether it's Mr. Modi, Rahul Gandhi or anyone else.
You know, as long as there's nothing stalling. Mamta Banerjee said she'll put stones into the cakes. None of that's happening. It'll be a real cake, genuine cake.
For an interview with Modi. I'm sure you know that.
Why? Poor man. I mean, like, look. He's my old friend. He's my old friend. I hope he sends me a nice Gujarati style chocolate cake. Modi Saab, if you're watching, you win. Don't forget cake.
Or in Ahmedabad, you get these pineapple sandwiches.
Pineapple sandwich.
Pineapple sandwich. Okay,
pineapple cake, Mr. Modi, if you
I
win.
just want to tell our viewers that we've got down to every seat predictions for every leader, every candidate. I have more than a dozen MPs or probable MPs, candidates wanting to know what's happening on their seat. Nobody finds out. You have to tune in tomorrow. We will give you a seat-by-seat breakup. We'll also look at how the casts have moved in. We'll try and make sense. We've already tried to distill this number for you, but this is just touching the tip. We will dive really, really deep tomorrow. I hope you'll be joining us for that as well. I hope you enjoyed our broadcast this evening.
Thank you all very much. It's been wonderful to join you. Remember, this is only the trailer. Picture abhi baki hai. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.
Thanks for watching the video. For more such news and updates, please like, share and subscribe to India Today. Also check out our other great videos from our channel. We know you would love to.